Hey everyone, I wanted to do a YouTube video here on my new silicone baby. This is the Lilly Sculpt by Alla, and she was molded and poured and reproduced by Nekketa Brown, and she was also painted and rooted by Nekketa Brown as well. I know right now she does have another one of this edition available on eBay right now. I'm not sure if this sculpt is on her Etsy shop or not, but you can check that out too with Nekketa Silicone babies, I believe they're called. And I just want to do a quick details video on her. So again, this is the Lilly sculpt. So she wasn't sculpted by Nekketa Brown, but Alla. You can see a couple. She does have a couple shiny spots in the silicone, but doesn't bother me at all. Overall, though, to the touch, I noticed this with, I have another Nekketa Brown baby. I have her Ivy, and the silicone paint or finishing powder or matting, I'm not sure what she uses, but it's so velvety smooth, just very silky, not sticky at all. The only places that feel, not as smooth are just like the shiny spots that look like, like spit and stuff, or runny nose that she has up here. The forehead, I think, was just a accidental place to leave that shiny, but very, very smooth overall, her silicone. Go ahead and take off her socks here so we can get all of her details. So she is poured in 100% EcoFlex 20. Nekketa does not have any additives in her silicone whenever she pours. So she's squishy, but still firm. Like, she doesn't just melt in your hands like that, like EcoFlex 10 or that marshmallow blend does. However, I feel that it's more realistic. I mean, real babies don't just melt in your hands anyway. The neat thing about Nekketa's babies too is the texture of the skin. That the way that she does her pouring and painting, she has been able to create this really neat wrinkling feature. Trying not to get my phone shadow on the baby, but see how just by like picking up the neck you get that natural wrinkle where there's no lines there, but it just does it. And it's not just on the neck, like she'll do that on her belly. Up in her chest area too. Her arms, she'll get the wrinkles. If you just like squeeze the silicone together. Not all silicone babies will have that effect with them, and it's just super realistic. It's pretty crazy, actually. So that's one really cool feature with Nekketa's babies. Getting that wrinkle effect in there. It's really cool. So anyway, show you a little bit more details about this sculpt. So she is 13 inches long. Take off her bow. 13 inches long, and she weighs 2 pounds 14 ounces. So she is she's a little baby. So here's my hand next to her. So should be like a micro preemie. My guess would be, I wouldn't just say preemie, like she's pretty little. She had more hair originally. Now I did not buy her directly off of Nekketa. She had a mommy right before me, so for 6 months, and then so she's 6 months old already. And her hair was like this whenever I got her. I did see her original pictures, and she did have more hair in, but whenever I got her, the hair that was left was matted really bad, and I had to carefully brush it out and then saved what I could, but I'll probably just reroot her. So this baby happens to have a drink and wet system built in, and it's done while she's being poured, so it's not like a tubing added afterwards. So you can tell, like, whenever you feel in her neck area that it's hollow in here, you can feel it, you know, up around in the mouth area. Also that the silicone is more hollow. You can't tell in the chest. I'm going to take off her diaper here just so you can see all the parts. I won't demonstrate the drink and wet system in this video, but I will put one out there. I don't plan on using it though. Kind of makes me nervous about having the inside wet and then not like being exposed to be able to dry properly. But I will demonstrate it just to show you how it works. And then she is open here, and you can feel like it's hollow, like in this section, kind of how it feels hollow up in her neck area, but in no way does it feel like there's like it doesn't feel odd or anything. I was hesitant in purchasing her when I found out she was drinking wet, because I didn't want to be able to see like like tubing and all that other kind of stuff, but then found out that that's not how Nekketa does her drinking wet system. It's actually just like a hollow part in the silicone, which I really like that too, because then there's nothing that's going to be like sliding around or anything. So here's her belly. You can see natural wrinkles and creases too, along with like that special effect in the silicone, which is just so cool. I can get my phone to focus. Let's see if I can look inside of her mouth. So she does have a tongue and gums, but she takes a Preemie pacifier. So here's my pinky finger, so you can kind of get an idea how tiny her mouth is. Nekketa does make special pacifiers. Here's one of hers that she makes that easily goes into her mouth. I also found that the newborn Jolly Pop works pretty well if it is either wet just a little bit, or you add some of that silky silicone spray stuff to it. I can't think of the name of it right now, but I can put that in the description later on. And it's made especially for putting pacifiers into the mouth so you don't damage the silicone, pulling it out or putting it in around the lips area. You can see like her face is so squishy, especially because of it being more hollowed out. Like, tuck a little lip in. I'll go ahead and turn her over. So she wears size preemie clothes, and I found that the Carter's Just One You preemie, they're the smallest clothes I can find and the most narrow. Same with like Child of Mine by Carter's. They've seemed to work the best for this size baby. So you can see some shiny spots. Her bottom is not open. That's just cut like that. Her toes are not separated. Turn it back over here. I kind of like how the ball of the foot kind of sticks out a little bit more, like a figure eight, not so flat. Let's see. It's squishy, but you know, it still has give to it, so it's not unrealistic. And she is in a Huggies micro preemie diaper, which they do sell, so it's not like a special custom order. Lift up her legs here for a second. And I like how like the belly kind of sticks up like that. Hard to do this with one hand. Let me go ahead and see if I can set my phone down here for a second. There we go. So I can get our diaper on the right way. So you can see how nice and flexible she is and how she moves. And if I pick her straight up like this, her head does fall back. It's not extreme. Floppiness of her arms and legs. There, you can see her. She does fit in both of my hands. And same with that belly wrinkle that she has. So she is super cuddly. Her head does tilt slightly to her left, so I am able, if I want, you know, to position her on her belly, that her head will stay to the side there. Go ahead and get on her outfit. So I know that Nekketa also makes the handmade outfits where she'll take like Carter's onesies and stuff and she will shorten them she sells those on her Etsy store too. I do have one of them. It's not in this room with me though. That came with this sculpt where you can see, like, if I pulled this down, it would be probably down past her feet, but I'll leave it bunched up there so you can't really tell. But what she does is she'll take the bottom half of the onesie and cut it and then sew it, reattaching it up there, which makes it shorter for the micro preemie babies. But like I said, the Carter preemie onesies seem to work pretty well with the 13-inch babies, which is what she is. Like I said, she's 13 inches with her legs in this slight bent position that she's in right now. I'm excited to test out the Drinking Wet system, and I'll do that in a separate video a little bit later whenever I'm ready to change out this outfit. So I try not to change their clothes too often because I don't like rubbing around on the paint and that kind of stuff, even though the way she's matted, she feels, very resistant almost to the rubbing and wearing that an outfit would have on her. Unlike some of my other silicones that I have, they're definitely more, not sticky, but just a different matting, so it's all about how that matting is. I do have a little hair bow here for her too. So yeah, so that's the Lilly sculpt, and I know that there is one of her still available right now on eBay. It's not this one, and I think it's a Drinking Wet one as well. So you could get to play with the Drinking Wet system. So super